Welcome to VMR Logics. Let me introduce myself. My name is Mithun. I have done my post-graduation in English Language and Literature from Kerala University. I have been in the field of teaching for competitive examinations for more than 11 years. I have taught many institutes and still teach. I have taught for civil services at institutes like Vision IS, AKS, 21st Century, La Excellence, Lakshmaya. I've taught at around 4 or 5 Telangana government institutes. I have taught at a government institute in Karnataka. For SSC, I've taught at IRIS, Classmate Academy, then Kautilya. So I've got an experience of almost 11 and a half years in the field of teaching for competitive examinations. VMR and I have been colleagues for more than 6 years. I know him really well. He is one of the best in this field, and in his app, he always brings all senior faculty. And I'm very happy that I'm very glad to work with him, because I'm very happy that he has invited me to work with him now to continue with the relationship and to bring forward all our talents or all our skills to help the students who are preparing for competitive examinations. And as I agree to be with him, and I'm very happy to be with him, because I know very well that he can take care of the mathematics part, and as he is very confident that I can take care of the verbal part. So both of our combination could work well. So that's the reason why I have clubbed with him. And now it's the first session we are going for in the verbal part. There's an introduction regarding myself and how we are planning to take classes for you. So we hope, both of us hope that our combination will surely help you a lot in achieving your goal. That means we help you achieve your goal. The best we can do we'll bring forward. And as you know, in every competitive examination like SSC, banking, CAT, GMAT, mathematics, then the arithmetic part and English part matter a lot. So as both of us are clubbed, we are very sure that we can help many people achieve your goal. Now here we give you the platform to learn English for all competitive examinations. Now whatever we discuss in the verbal part can be applied in the case of all competitive examinations. Whether it's SSC, banking, CAT, GMAT, GRE, CAT, or whichever examination it is, RRB, we can use the content in the case of all verbal examinations. In the verbal part of all examinations. Now the concepts remain the same. The topics also remain the same in the case of most of the examinations. The only thing is the level of difficulty changes. That's the only thing. The portions, the concepts, the way of approach, everything remains the same. Now I'll take you through a concept. This one, eliminating the middleman. This is just one among the many concepts that will surely help us crack grammar questions in no time. Eliminating the middleman. This rule can be used when we come across two nouns before a verb. And this is a rule that appears in the topic subject-verb agreement, which is also called concord. And it is one of the important topics when it comes to the grammar part of examination. Now when you go for a question on the grammar, in the grammar part, whether it's sentence improvement or spotting the error, now as you know, we can never rely on guesswork. Guess will never help us. The only thing is going by the rules. You need to have a valid logical reason based on a concept, so select an option as your answer. Now as I said, this rule, eliminating the middleman, can be applied when there are two nouns before a verb. Now eliminating the middleman means we need to eliminate the noun that comes in the middle of the sentence. Now never give a reason like a sentence sounds correct or sounds incorrect. Because a sentence that sounds correct may be incorrect, a sentence that sounds incorrect may be correct. The only thing is going by the rules. We have no choice but to go by the rules of the language. Come to the first statement. The peacock, like other birds, have wings to fly. The peacock, like other birds, have wings to fly. Now, the verb in this sentence is have. Have is a plural verb. Now, the basic rule of subject-verb agreement is, if the subject is singular, the verb must also be singular. If the subject is plural, the verb must also be plural. This is a basic rule of subject-verb agreement. When a subject becomes singular and plural, teacher is singular, teachers is plural, child is singular, children is plural, table is singular, tables is plural. When does a verb become singular? Whenever there is s, es or ies to a verb, that means a verb is singular. If no s, no es, no ies, that means the verb is plural. Clear? Come to the statement once again. The peacock, like other birds, have wings to fly. Now this spotting the error, I say the error in this sentence is in part C. The verb depends on the subject in the sentence. Now I go for a blank here, right? We already have a verb here, have. Instead of the verb have, I go for a blank. Now we have two nouns before the blank. Now we have two nouns before the verb, that is before the blank. One is the peacock, the other one is other birds. Now as I said, whenever you come across two nouns before a verb, without thinking much, go for the method eliminating the middleman. And eliminating the middleman means without thinking much, you just eliminate the noun that comes in the middle of the sentence. Now in this sentence, we have two nouns before the verb. One is peacock, the other one is birds. So going for eliminating the middleman, the noun that comes in the middle is birds. So just eliminate the noun birds. Now we have only one noun left, that is peacock. The peacock singular, so verb must also be singular. So the answer must be has and not have. So the peacock, like other birds, has wings to fly. Sounds incorrect but completely fine. That's why I said never give a reason like a sentence sounds correct or sounds incorrect. Always go by the rules. Come to next one. Rahul as well as his sisters were present in the party. Now every sentence has at least 5 rules in it. There will be at least 5 rules in every sentence. Now if you're not getting the help of one rule, forget about it. Think about some other rules. Now as well as, along with, together with, in addition to, accompanied by, besides. These words mean the same. I repeat, as well as, along with, together with, in addition to, accompanied by, besides mean the same. Whenever you find a relationship between two entities, we have two entities here. One is Rahul and the other one is sisters. We have two entities here and the relationship between the two entities is shown using the word as well as. Whenever there is a relationship between two entities using as well as, along with, together with, in addition to, accompanied by, besides, etc., the rule says focus only on the first subject. That means the verb depends on the first subject. If the first subject is singular, the verb must also be singular. If the first subject is plural, the verb must also be plural. In this statement, we have as well as, so we need to focus only on the first subject. The first subject here is Rahul. Singular, the verb must also be singular. Rahul as well as his sisters was present in the party. Sounds incorrect but completely fine. That is one rule. Then going for eliminating the middleman. Rahul as well as his sisters dash present in the party. I go for a blank here. And this blank must be filled with a verb. Before the verb we have two nouns. One is Rahul and the other one is his sisters. Two nouns before the verb, going for eliminating the middleman. The noun that comes in the middle is sisters, so eliminate the noun sisters. Now we have only one noun left, Rahul, singular, the verb must also be singular, was present in the party. So going for a very precise rule, as well as focus only on the first subject, and going for the general rule, eliminating the middleman. Two nouns are here. The noun sisters will get eliminated. We have only one noun left, Rahul, the verb singular, the verb must also be singular. Getting it? Come to the next one. 3/4 of the students in the class have taken the examination. Now here, as I told you, more than one rule will be applicable in every sentence. 3/4 of the students. 3/4 is a determiner. A determiner is a word that tells us about the quantity of a noun. Any word that tells us about the quantity of a noun is termed as a determiner, like some, many, a few, almost all, 90%, 3/4, several, numerous, various, much, more than. All these words tell us about the quantity of a noun and they are termed as determiners. Determiners don't deserve importance. Even though you find a determiner sentence, don't give any importance to determiner, just neglect it. So the word 3/4 is a determiner telling us about the quantity of the noun students. I repeat, determiners don't deserve importance. So you forget about 3/4. You're not concerned about it. 3/4 of the students in the class have taken the examination. The verb in the sentence is have. Right. Now the verb here is have taken. Now I go for a blank here. Now we'll see how many nouns are there before the verb. We have two nouns before the verb. One is, now we have two nouns before the verb. One is the students and the other one is the class. We have two nouns before the verb, so you have to go for the method eliminating the middleman. The noun that comes in the middle of the sentence is the class, so without thinking much, eliminate the class. Now we have only one noun left, that is the students. The students is a plural noun. So here the subject is plural, the verb must also be plural. Have taken is completely fine, there is no error in this sentence. So 3/4 of the students in the class have taken the examination. Clear? Come on, next one. The ebb and flow of the tides are now understood. The ebb and flow. Now the rule regarding and is in fact completely different. Now and is called a coordinating conjunction. And combines two similar entities as well as two different entities. If two similar entities are getting combined by and, the subject is taken as singular. I'll give an example. Whereas, when two different entities are getting combined by and, the subject is taken as plural. If I say, my mother and friend. My mother and friend means and is combining or connecting two similar entities. My mother and friend means I use my only once. And my refers to mother and friend. So my mother and friend means there's only one person here playing two roles. The same person is mother as well as friend. One person playing two roles, the subject is singular, the verb must also be singular because there's only one person here. What if I say, my mother and my friend? My mother and my friend means and is connecting to different entities because I use my twice. My mother and my friend, the first my refers to mother, the second my refers to friend. So my mother and my friend means there are two persons here. One person is my mother, the other person is my friend. Two persons are here, subject is plural, the verb must also be plural. Now come to this. The ebb and flow of the tides are now understood. I go for a blank here and this blank must be filled with a verb. The ebb and flow, I say, the ebb and flow is a single noun because the ebb and flow, the is used only once. If I say the teacher and principal, it means there's only one person here. The same person is teacher as well as principal. The teacher and the principal means two persons. One person is teacher, the other person is principal. The ebb and the flow means completely different entities. The ebb and flow, I take it as a single noun because the is used only once. So this is one noun. Then the tides is the other noun. So we have two nouns before the verb. One is the ebb and flow, the other one is the tides. Two nouns before the verb going for eliminating the middleman. The noun that comes in the middle is the tides, it gets eliminated. Now we have only one noun left, the ebb and flow. The ebb and flow is an uncountable noun. Now uncountable nouns cannot be singular or plural, but uncountable nouns carry a singular verb with them. Water is uncountable. Water is essential for life. Tea is uncountable. There's nothing like 1 tea, 2 tea or 3 tea. Tea is uncountable, whereas cup of tea is countable. 1 cup of tea, 2 cups of tea, 3 cups of tea, etc. Water is uncountable. Glass of water is countable. 1 glass of water, 2 glasses of water, 3 glasses of water, etc. Milk is uncountable. Packet of milk is countable. 1 packet of milk, 2 packets of milk, 3 packets of milk, etc. So the ebb and flow is an uncountable noun. Uncountable nouns carry a singular verb with them. So it cannot be are, it must be is. The answer is part C. The ebb and flow of the tides is now understood. Clear? And when you take a statement, you need to identify every rule that appears in every sentence starting from the beginning, in fact. Only then you can find out the error in a sentence. We're just focusing only on one rule now, eliminating the middleman. Come to the next one. The quality of these items are appreciated by everyone. The quality of these items dash appreciated by everyone. I go for a blank here. Before the blank, this blank must be filled with a verb. And before the verb, we have two nouns. One is the quality. The other one is these items. Now I can say quality is a noun. Simple reason is the is an article. After every article comes a noun. The boy, the boys, the child, the children, a boy, an umbrella. After every article comes a noun. So the quality, the is there, the word quality becomes a noun. One reason. Then one more reason. Words ending with ity, age, ment, ion, these are usually nouns. One word can be used in different parts of speech. Sometimes a word can be noun, adjective, verb, adverb. It depends on the sentence in which the word comes. When you refer dictionary, the word will be here, the meanings will last here. One word has many meanings. And before the meaning of the word in brackets, the part of speech will be given. Now identifying the part of speech will surely help us while approaching all types of verbal questions. Now what is this? Words ending with ity, age, ment, ion, these are usually nouns. Ity, quality, quantity, capacity, purity, clarity, parity, equity, equality. Age, patronage, message, massage, passage. MENT, government, development, appointment, investment. ION, station, lotion, caution, motion, passion, introduction, conclusion. So words ending with these are usually nouns. Then the quality of these items. Items is a noun here. It must be a noun because these is a demonstrative pronoun. If you find any difficulty with any particular statement, you go for a parallel statement. These boys, boys is a noun. These girls, girls is a noun. These books, books is a noun. These vehicles, vehicles is a noun. So these items, the word items must be a noun here. Going for a parallel statement. The quality of these items are appreciated by everyone. We have two nouns before the verb. One is quality, the other one is items. So going for eliminating the middleman, the noun that comes in the middle is items. So without thinking much, we have to eliminate this noun. Now we have only one noun left. The quality, singular, the verb must also be singular, is appreciated by everyone. So this rule, this concept, eliminating the middleman, which comes under the topic subject of agreement itself, will help us eliminate options and get the answer. This is just one of the many concepts that we have in all the topics. In fact, every topic has many rules and every topic has a set of exceptions as well. We have no choice, we have to go for the rules and the exceptions by heart. So grammar topics, in the case of grammar topics, guesswork will never help us. Don't ever give a reason like a sentence sounds correct or sounds incorrect. We have to go by the rules to crack every question. Hope it is very clear to you. Thank you.